Hey guys, it's your boy Dark Raku here with What If Issei was the reincarnation of Karma Akabane, Part 4. And yes, recap is going to have to be needed because it's been 1 month. Son of a biscuit. Okay. Also, does my voice seem different? No, never mind. But, what's it called? Let me go into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up. Let me go blah blah blah. And yeah, of course, let me go into this recap. Oh, before I go on, yes, I am going to have to get a job next weekend. So yeah, so not many videos are going to be uploaded next weekend unless I manage to squeeze one in or something. But yeah, trying to get a what's it called, work in either GameStop or Home Depot. Two of those are chill places where I don't need to do that much shit. McDonald's, fuck that, that's out of the question. Any fast food place that I gotta get a job is out of the fucking question. I am not trying to be overworked, so fuck that. But not the point. Let me go into this what if, but yeah. So we go into mostly the recap. What happened last time was mostly Issei came to school. Of course, mostly his two friends, or mostly two of the rankers of the infamous, actually went into the same classroom as his. This is where Fugaku, mostly the second rank, mostly the Knight of Darkness. Yeah, they basically call him the Knight of Darkness because he kind of sometimes shows up with kind of armor or a sword, mostly similar to that of Japanese Scorcher. But yeah, of course he's terrifying. Of course he has black hair, and of course he has onyx eyes. But yeah, there's also the what's it called, the infamous darkness. Well, the darkness of mastermind of darkness, mostly being someone named Lelouch V. Berchanian. Now, of course, he is considered to be mostly third rank. Fourth rank is someone who is named the Flames of Darkness, and then there's what's it called? Not the Flame of Darkness, mostly death. Mostly the Queen of Despair, and mostly that being Junko, and of course her sister being Fit, being what's it called, Rainier. Mostly they don't have a title for her, and then there's a sixth person that being what's it called, the Flames of Darkness, being Dawi. But yeah. But then, we go into back to where I was explaining. Of course, this is where, they kind of go into the same classroom. They're sitting in specific assigned seats. Fugaku was sitting next to someone named Yang, a girl that's, not considered one of the eight Onisans. There's four in total, but there's eight, mostly eight counting their queens. Now, of course, she is one of the four Onisans, but yeah. Oh, not four, mostly eight, but yeah. But then there's, Lelouch had to sit next to Sona. Of course, is where, Issei, who is actually Karma, does sit next to, what's it called, Rias. Now, they sit here and, of course, wait for the classroom. This is where Lelouch had to be a little bit more forceful and much more kind of lustful and other stuff, and tried to seduce, Sona. Sona didn't want to at first, but then she did give in. And of course had to tell what was going to kind of happen, but really not for the information for Issei and what's it called, Rias. It's mostly some kind of test or something. This is where, Issei and Rias had to go first. Of course, this is where, they were going to the principal's office, or mostly, close to the principal's office, until when they were walking, Issei had to be forceful also. He had to be kind of joking a little bit. Mostly he kind of said that two exorcists were going after Rias' head, which is not a lie because, they weren't going after her head. They were mostly going to warn the devils not to intervene with the Excalibur thing. Of course, this is where, Rias freaked out for a second, then realized it was something. And this is where she tried to go back to Stoic, but this is where she was stopped because she was actually slammed to the wall. Well, not forcefully. Mostly Issei put both of his arms towards the wall, stopping her from moving any further. And of course, they were really close. And this is where Issei said, "I want to know what is happening." This is where, Rias didn't really know, but this is where, an older man who kind of looks like Rias kind of said, "Let go of my sister or you're going to kiss her or something." This is where, both of them looks away. Of course, this is where, he explains about the marriage thing. And of course, this is where, Issei didn't want to, but of course, this is where, his governor general being that of Azo, and his father being that of Goro the fallen angel, and Azo also the fallen angel leader. But yeah, this is where they kind of explain towards Issei that it's quite needed. It's because, well, Michael doesn't have any children of his own, and of course, there's no other fallen angels that's the same age, and, well, the same age as both Issei and, well, Rias. Of course, is where, well, he then also explains that both of his daughters are basically the same age, but she won't be into that. This is where, oh, Rios was blushing, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei tried to argue with them, but didn't work out, and of course, the marriage was set in stone. This is where, well, Issei was annoyed and pissed. Of course, this is where they left. But of course, this is where the bell rang at the worst time, making them have to hide in the closet, and Rios had passed out. This is where, well, he had to go to the nurse office, kind of laying her there. And of course, Lelouch was there, just kind of helping out Issei. But yeah, with his own abilities to command people to forget and go away. But yeah, this is where, well, if he wasn't there, Issei would have literally crimson burned them to death. But yeah, this is where, well, the next couple, well, mostly not the next day. Well, yeah, mostly the whole afternoon was mostly kind of the mostly exorcists going towards the devils and telling them to go away, and of course not to intervene with the whole Excalibur project and other stuff. And of course on the Excalibur project, mostly the Excaliburs, and now they're stolen. Of course, this is where they know it was Azia, well, mostly Azia Argento who was there. Of course, this is where they tried to kill her because, well, she was a witch instead of a saint. And this is where, well, before, well, Zenobia could actually hit, well, what's it called, Azia with a sword, Shinkai appears right now stopping her sword with his own bluish, darkish sword. So yeah, I'm gonna give Shinkai that he made a creation weapon out of dark sea blue water sword to kind of clash with Zenobia's sword, Excalibur of Destruction. Doesn't work well. Irina wanted to kind of fight them, but of course it worked well. Reina appears about to fight them, but doesn't work well. Issei appears kind of next to Irina, stopping her from actually fighting. What's it called? Rainier. And of course it worked well. He also appeared next to, what's it called? Well, Shinkai and what's it called? Zenobia. Zenobia swings her sword, but this is where Issei caught it, and this is where he caught also Shinkai's sword and also Kiba's sword, because Kiba was actually going to attack from what's it called, Shinkai. This, well, mostly not from Shinkai's side. Well, yeah, from Shinkai's side, but this is where Issei managed to just push Shinkai away and grab Kiba's sword. But yeah, there's where I kind of last left it off. So we go into this what if. Doesn't work well. Issei scoffs and says, "Can you everyone calm down for a second?" This is where everyone does calm down as they're feeling the pressure of magical power of Issei's kind of float out a little bit. Of course, his wings are actually appearing behind him. Mostly his 4 crimson wings are actually appearing, and this is where, well, mostly all the girls are in trance and how amazing his wings are, but of course scared at the same time, except for Akano. Akano saying, "Nara, nara." It's making my freaking, this is where, well, she's just kind of getting very lustful with Issei, but yeah, Issei kind of sort drops and doesn't really like that. This is where, well, Rias kind of glares at Akano, but yeah, this is where, well, we go into mostly Issei kind of seeing what the fuck is happening. This is where, well, he finds out that both Zenobia and what's called Irina were told about how, well, mostly Azia was a saint and then she became a witch after hailing the devil. This is where, well, Issei kind of looks at Azia and says, "Well, she doesn't look like no devil or witch to me. She looks like a kind girl that just might have been misled." That's where, well, Shinkai is right now next to her and right now in front of her, right now protecting her. This is where he's kind of being like a knight. This is where, well, Azia is kind of scared and telling Shinkai that it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But Shinkai doesn't want to listen. Now, of course, Azia and Shinkai are actually the same age, or 16, but yeah. Of course, Shinkai is very, very protective of Azia. Of course, where, well, Rainier and even Junko are there kind of being protective also of their kind of little sister figure being that of Azia. Azia Argento. This is where, well, what's it called? Zenobia doesn't understand why the red crimson fallen angel is protecting them. This is where, well, the 2 fallen angels and also, well, the witch. This is where, well, Issei like hits her in the head with a karate chop because Issei was already annoyed with her. Shut the hell up, Zenobia. You see here, I'm also a fallen angel. I'm an angel, fallen angel, and also, well, a devil mix. the reason why my race is called Crimson, well, mostly Crimson Arctic Angel or Red Arctic Angel is because of my red wings and most of my red hair. I was surprised with that, but screw it. I don't know why, but my wings are red. Probably the mixture of all those races. But whatever, mostly the fallen angel is more dominant, but I don't understand why I'm a red Arctic Angel. Now, not the point. Stop calling Ozia Argento a witch, or Shinkai might try to kill you. So, calm down. And I don't want my little brother to literally try to kill you. This is where, well, Zenobia looks at him with glaring eyes, and this is where Issei kind of uses a little bit of power to shut her up for a second. This is where, well, Irina says, well, it's quite interesting to meet your little brother. Sorry if we were a little bit rash. This is where she says, trying to make Issei calm down. This is where, well, Issei, he kind of puts an arm around Irina and says, I will never get mad over my childhood friend. You were the first friend I ever had, so of course I would never be mad at you. But Zenobia is another question. I don't know her, and I don't care about knowing her. This is where, well, Irina is blushing a lot being next to Issei and how warm he is. This is where, well, Rias is actually getting really fucking jealous. Even though they're having a marriage set in stone, Issei is still kind of, well, even though he doesn't act like a playboy most of the time, he kind of does seem like a playboy most of the time. But that's just because he is sometimes friendly with other people. That if he knows for a long time. Mostly like Junko and Rainier. He kind of knows them for a while because they're fallen angels and he has been always close with them. That's where, well, Rias is someone that he just barely found out that she was a devil. Or, well, he always knew that she was a devil. It's just he really never cared about talking to her or anything. That's where, well, Rias is kind of seeing this. She would say something, but of course it might kind of destroy the relationship between each other. The fact that she's a devil and Issei's a red Arctic Angel. So yeah. Now of course, well, Issei can't really fall. Even though he's a red Arctic Angel, he can't really fall. His wings will never turn black if he does anything kind of similar to that of a fallen angel, like falls out of lust or anything sins out of all those stuff. If he does like the 7 deadly sins, whatever, he won't actually fall. He's a red Arctic Angel. Actually quite rare because he's still Arctic. He's still kind of like an angelic angel, but he does have similar powers to that of a fallen. Well, because, well, he does have the DNA and more dominant of a fallen angel, and does have double genes inside him, but the reason why he won't fall is because of his red wings. They don't know if they can transform into black from red. But yeah, mostly for normal Arctic angels, their wings would turn black if they fall. Issei's in a different case. Doesn't work well. They can't tell if that's just because of the red dragon emperor that Issei has. But they don't know that because, well, mostly the dragon was mostly there since he was born. And of course, Issei awoken his wings when he was just kind of a children, but yeah, mostly like 4 years old, but yeah. Of course, somewhere when he met Irina, but yeah. This is where, well, that's just a different case. This is where, well, we go back into what if, but yeah. Of course, the where, well, Rias is kind of seeing this, and this is where she's getting quite jealous. This is where Issei is just telling them, oh, and that's where, well, mostly Issei decides to try to help Irina and Zenobia and their Excalibur kind of help. Of course, Zenobia didn't want to, but Irina was happy because she shut up, well, Zenobia's mouth by putting her hand over her mouth and saying, shut up. And this is where, well, Irina just really wanted to spend time with Issei so much. But yeah, this is where, well, both Junko and Rainier didn't really want to help them. But of course, they were, well, Issei kind of said that they were mostly Junko and, what's it called, Rainier would help them in finding the Excaliburs. But yeah, this is where they scoff at Issei. And this is where Issei say, fine, I'll get Dabi, Lelouch, and even what's it called, Fugaku to go find them. Does that make you, well, much better? This is where, well, Junko says, well, I will only go find them if you spend time with me, she said very lustily. This is where she kind of grabs her kind of shirt and pulls it a little bit down just to show a little bit of cleavage. This is where Issei blushes a little bit and of course looks somewhere else. This is where, well, Junko says, aw, why so mean, Issei-kun? This is where Issei looks at him. or not looks at him, looks at her and says, "Shh, shut up." This is where, well, Issei kind of got closer to her and whispered into her ear, "Shut up before I make you mine." This is where, well, Junko's face becomes all red. This is where, well, Ria's, she can hear what they're saying, and of course, this is where she's getting really jealous. But of course, she gotta know that what's it called? Someone who's basically a red Arctic Angel should be having a harem themselves, but she wanted to be first. Of course, this is where, well, Issei can feel the jealousy, but he's right now ignoring it. This is where, well, he tells Junko and Rainer to go home with Azia, and even Shinkai going home. This is where, well, Shinkai not going home with Azia because he doesn't want them to accidentally have unprotected, you know what. This is where, both Azia and even what's it called, Shinkai blushes and looked away. This is where Shinkai said, "I would never do something like that to her. She's too cute and innocent." This is where he actually said out loud, and this is where he realized what he said, until he just ran off because, well, yeah, he was too embarrassed. Ozzy was so embarrassed, and of course, this is where she was kind of like hugging Rainer. Rainer was just giggling at their actions, but yeah, how adorable they are. This is where, well, they left with Ozzy, but yeah, this is where, well, everyone else was starting to leave. This is where, well, Irina and Zenobia were actually going towards Issei's house, and this is where Irina was confused. This is where Issei says, "I'll catch up with you guys later." This is where, well, mostly all of the devils that were in what's it called, Reyes' Parage were getting dismissed by Reyes. And of course, Reyes was about to leave, but of course, this is where she was grabbed from behind and of course, pulled closer and sat down on a couch. This is where, well, she was actually terrified, but she felt what's it called, red wings kind of be next to her. This is where, well, she already noticed who it was, Issei. This is where Issei kind of has this grin. This is where, well, Issei says, "So, why is my fiance so jealous with me?" This is where, well, Ria shuts up and doesn't want to talk to him. This is where Issei says, "Aw, you're not a talker. How to make you talk to me? Damn, I don't really have much choices for you to talk to me." This is where, well, Ria says right now, "Shut up," because she doesn't want to tell him the truth about why she's jealous. So, of course, she just kind of sits there kind of being quiet. This is where Issei said, "Well, if there's no other choice, then I'll have to just take her V card." This is where, well, Ria blushes and looks at Issei right now with these terrified looks of eyes, and this is where Issei just chuckling and giggling. This is where, well, she realized that she fallen into his trap, and this is where, well, Issei said, "So you reacted to that? So, you want me to do it, or what?" This is where, well, Ria says, No. She's stuttering. This is where, well, Issei says, "Aw, I didn't hear you. Do you want to say that again?" This is where Ria says, "No, of course not. I don't want you to take anything." This is where, well, Issei says, But I can feel your jealousy look at me when I talk to any of the other girls. Are you saying that you want to be first in my harem, or what?" This is where, well, Ria blushes and looks away, and this is where, well, Issei said, If you keep just ignoring me, I might have to grab something close to you." This is where, well, Ria was confused until she felt like her kind of chest was grabbed. This is where it kind of like grew up a little bit. This is where, well, Ria looks back at Issei with these kind of, not anger eyes, mostly a blushing look. And of course, this is where, well, she kind of had tears in her eyes. And this is where Issei said, "Okay, I won't. I'll stop." This is where Ria said, "No, please, keep going." This is where Issei said, "Okay, that sounds really down sexual as hell. I think I'll stop." This is where, well, Drake in his ass says, "Kid, what are you doing? You gotta keep going. You gotta make her yours. You're a dragon. Right now, ravish her." This is where, well, he says, "I'm not doing any of that, Drake. Calm down." This is where, well, Drake says, "No, Issei. Keep going. Keep going. This is the most interesting freaking thing I ever seen you do. You gotta be more aggressive. Think of it like Lelouch. Lelouch is probably right now ravishing, what's it called, Sona, like if she was just a piece of meat. Think about it." This is where Issei says, "No, I'm not thinking about what's it called, Lelouch doing something like that. Oh, hell no. No, get that image out of my head." This is where, well, Drake says, "Okay, I will get the image out of her head if you just rabbit her. Just make her yours. It's not that hard. You're both redheads. Besides, the marriage is a thing. And you two just kind of do it. What is going to happen to you? You're not going to become a fallen. You're still some red Arctic Angelic angel." This is where he says, "No, I'm not doing any of that." This is where, well, Trick says, "Come on, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Come on, just This is where, well, Rias is trying to snap him out of his thoughts by kind of just been like shaking him and saying, Issei, are you okay? Issei? Issei? This is where, well, she's already standing up. Of course, to where, well, she's actually having still a blush in her face, but of course, this is where she's more worried about Issei. Issei snap out, and this is where Issei says, huh? You said something? This is where, well, Rias says, oh, you're back. Thank God. Or, this is where she gets a headache and says, ow, my head. This is where, well, she says, oh, my head. This is where, well, she got her arm kind of grabbed by Issei, and this is where she looked up, kind of like trying to open her eyes because she does get a headache. The fact that she can't really say God's name. And this is where, well, she then gets pulled in and grabbed. This is where Issei kind of just hugs her. This is where, well, Issei's wings also spreads out, like 6 wings spreads out, kind of covering her. This is where, well, she is blushing madly right now into his chest. This is where, well, Issei said, you kind of smell very lavender color, or mostly not lavender. You kind of smell very good, kind of strawberry and other stuff. I might just want to eat you up now. This is where Issei's kind of becoming more lustful than in the moment. This is mostly his fallen angel side that's actually taken over for a second. This is where, well, Rias is blushing more and just really blushing the fact that Issei is kind of making her feel like she's actually feels like a strawberry to him, and he just wants to be, well, he's really feeling hungry. This is where, well, Rias tries to use her words, but of course no words actually come out. This is where, well, Issei, he does have her really close, and this is where, well, he's actually becoming more and more aroused. In the moment, every time he smells her. Of course, the smell it's a very strong kind of strawberry smell. Yeah, kind of, because she did kind of take a shower a while ago. This is where, well, Issei saying, I might just eat you all up, strawberry-chan. This is where, well, Rias is right now blushing because she did realize that she did wash up in, like, mostly a strawberry shampoo, but yeah. This is where, well, what this has happened, they're mostly staying still, but of course, Issei is becoming really, really more aroused. Of course, his wings are kind of making Rias also kind of aroused from the fact that they're so warm and so actually, well, mostly very warm. The wings are actually quite warm. This is where, well, she never really expected that to be really warm. Of course, if she was in like a campfire, this is how much it would feel like a fire being next to her, but yeah. This is where, well, she doesn't know what to do. This is where, well, Issei says, so you want to do it or what? This is where, well, Rias right now blushes and doesn't know what to do. Issei said, I'll take that. So yes, then. This is where, well, Issei kind of lifts her face up, and this is where, well, she was all blushing mess, and this is where Issei kind of puts, well, mostly his face close to her, and this is where Rias didn't know what to do. This is where, well, Issei kind of just took her lips because, well, he was done with kind of playing a little bit. Because, well, he became too aroused and his lustful side of his fallen angel side did take over. This is where Rias was a blushing mess when the kiss happened, but of course she couldn't let, well, it was a god, him take all the fun, so of course she tried to force the kiss into it. Tried to, like, force herself to be more calm. Of course, this is where, well, they're kind of kissing for a couple of minutes, like 1 minute, until they hear clapping. Well, well, well. The two lovebirds are actually finally becoming two, well, actual lovebirds, being fiancés. This is where, well, both of them snaps out of their kiss, and this is where Issei right now releases wings, and this is where, well, he gets on guard. This is where, well, he does still have a little bit of saliva in his mouth, and this is where, well, Rias does the same. This is where she gets on guard, and she tries to wipe out the saliva from her mouth. This is where, well, they look towards the door and they see two figures kind of walking through. One person with crimson red hair and of course shoulder plates like armor on his like mostly shoulders, but yeah, and has a red coat on. And of course, next to the person is what they call a, well, looks like to have, well, black wings behind him. But of course kind of becoming, well, not black wings behind him, mostly kind of having a not brownish, a grayish coat, kind of golden bangs and black, well, hair behind him, but yeah, mostly on top of his hair, but yeah, this is where, well, he has kind of violet eyes, and this is where the other person has what's called baby blue eyes, but yeah, and this is where they're just grinning at their, well, at the sight of what they walked into. This is where, well, Ria says, brother. This is where Issei said, Adil. This is where he grits his teeth. This is where, well, They say, whoa, 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 don't get angry at me, Azo said. This is where, well, Ria kind of sees her brother. Her brother is just smirking at her. And this is where, well, this is where both of them are blushing and looking away. This is where, well, Azo said, damn, I should have took a picture. You got a camera here? This is where, well, he kind of asked Sir Zack. Sir Zack says no, because I would have probably made noise and they would have probably snapped out way too fast. And I feel like my sister would hate me for life. This is where, well, Ria says, don't I already hate you for life for the fact that you caught, well, never mind. This is where, well, oh, because I caught you in kind of 4K and the fact that you were kind of finally making out with your kind of, well, husband, well, mostly future husband. This is where, Rias kind of looks away, but yeah, that's where, well, I just chuckles and says, well, kid, good job, kid. This is where he kind of gives Issei the thumbs up, and this is where Issei kind of gives him the middle finger. And this is where, oh, Asa said, ugh, that hurts, kid. Why? This is where, oh, Issei said, because this is kind of creepy as hell. You, the fallen angels, are like 2 billion years old. This is where Issei kind of just says out loud. And him being at least probably 500, I don't know, decides to stalk on 2 children who's clearly younger than both of their ages, and just stalked them and while they were kind of, well, doing stuff. This is where he kind of says that stuff kind of with question marks a little bit, but yeah, that's where, well, as it says, oh, that stuff is basically you making out with, what's it called, the ruined princess. Come on, you say, just kind of admit it, you like her way too much. This is where, well, he said that was an accident. I didn't mean to. That was mostly my fallen angel side taking over. Damn it, why are you fallen angels so damn horny half the damn time? This is where, well, Issei said with a very angry face. This is where, well, as it says, well, we've fallen from grace, so of course, either we kind of did one of those sins of lust or any of that. But yeah, you're lucky that your father was actually falling for lust instead of what's it called? Well, for anger or something. So I guess your fallen side is mostly kind of, well, anytime your fallen side is activated, it looks like that you become aroused and other stuff. Quite interesting. So you still has those emotions similar to that for fallen angel and an angel. And of course, that's quite interesting. I want more experiments. So keep going on with your girlfriend. This is where, well, Issei blushes and looks away. And this is where, well, Sir Zack says, so, sis, how was your first kiss? This is where, well, Rias looks away and says, it's none of your concern. This is where, well, Sir Zack tries to, like, smooth talking to Rias, but Rias doesn't want to. And, of course, Azo and, looks like, what's it called? Azo and Issei has a relationship of, like, uncle. And Issei kind of calls him the creepy uncle because the fuck, or the most experiment psychopath scientist uncle, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei said, still, go away. Why are you even here? Why are you even bothering to even come here? This is where, well, as it says, well, I just came here to talk to Sir Zack in the old school building, but since we noticed that 2 figures are still here, you realize it's kind of 6 o'clock in the afternoon, or not even 6 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock in the afternoon. You guys have been here for how long? This is where both of them kind of wanted their eyes and realized they were here for at least 3 hours. This is where, well, not 3 hours, 2 hours, because they mostly, everyone left like at 5, and, well, they were still here. This is where, well, Rias kind of blushes and looks away, and this is where, well, she kind of puts her face behind, well, Issei's kind of back, and this is where, well, Issei is kind of glaring at both of them. This is where, well, Issei said, okay, well, I should be going then. Because clearly, I don't want to be anywhere next to the fallen angel prick, or what's it called, Rias' brother. This is where, Elsa says, that hurts, kid. Why would you call me the fallen angel prick? Why won't you call Sir Zack the freaking devil prick then? Because you're more creepier than him. This is where, well, Elsa says, that hurts, brat. Why? Why you like this? Issei said, because I can be. This is where, well, mostly Ria said, she was kind of just whispering into mostly Issei's back, but she, well, mostly not she, mostly Issei heard what she was talking about, and this is where, well, Issei said fine. This is where, well, he does make a magic circle around him. And of course, this magic circle is kind of a lightish red, kind of different from either Arctic Angel's magics being kind of yellow, being kind of golden color like angelic. That of a fallen angel being kind of also yellow, but a little bit darker yellow. That difference from also the devil's magic being a kind of crimson, more red color for Arias. But of course, Issei's is already lightish red. This is where Issei said teleportation. This is where, well, the red magic circle just teleports him, and this is where they just blink in a flash. This is where, well, both Azo and Sursex started giggling like mad. It's just like kind of giggling like, what's it called, girls, high schooler girls, kind of like seeing something funny just appear right in front of them, which they did. Because, well, the two funniest things that appear in front of them was mostly Issei and mostly Rias together. Mostly two redheads. But of course, mostly Issei's red hair is kind of a little bit much more lighter crimson at the same time from Rias' hair. This is where, well, mostly Hazel says, so the ruined princess is really going out with the called Red Arctic Angel Prince. This is where, well, Sir Zack says, so when did the whole prince start? Then again, this is where Hazel's like, well, I just gave him the title. But then again, he is kind of called the infamous Darkness Prince of what's it called, Kuo. And Rias is kind of called one of the 4 Onisans. And mostly the red crimson hair princess. That's where, well, both of them chuckles and says, so do we use those titles when, what's it called, we finally married them off? Hell yes. Also, and Sir Zax are kind of just having grins. Until, well, before anything else happens, a gray silver haired maid appears and now smacking the shit out of what's it called, Sir Zax, knocking him out. And this is where before what's it called, Azo can react fast enough, he gets knocked out by, well, mostly a, well, so of course this is where, well, a female with kind of blackish hair appears smacking the shit out of Azo, and Azo kind of gets knocked out. This is where, well, they get picked up mostly by the 2 female shrine. Of course, this is where Azo, the female that got knocked him out, was mostly his wife. And of course, Sir Zack's wife was mostly, well, yeah, Grathia. So of course, this is where they make their own magic circles and teleport. But yeah. This is where, well, both Issei and what's it called, mostly Rias were at their, well, mostly Issei was at his house. And of course, this is where, well, he was just stuttering. Of course, this is where, well, they kind of feel very tired, so of course they accidentally fell asleep together, but yeah. But yeah. This is where, well, Issei didn't already have enough energy to kind of just make the magic circle, well, kind of becoming a stuttering mess. And of course, Rias was already tired, so of course she's already passed out on his back. Issei didn't have any more strength, but of course he just puts her on the bed while sleeping next to her, but yeah. This is where, well, of course, this is where when the next day happens, everyone kind of scream really loud. And what they just see in the sight. They see Issei and Rias together. Mostly, what's it called, Gordo was actually happy. This is where, well, Gordo's wife, being Mika slapped the hell out of what's it called, Gordo, saying, what the hell did you do? And what kind of marriage bullshit do you actually get to our son? This is where, well, Gordo was terrified of his wife, but yeah. This is where, well, the 2 exorcists were just terrifying, hearing that a marriage might have happened between Rias, well, Gremory, and what's it called, Issei. And of course, well, what's it called? Well, Irina kind of gets scared, thinking that, well, Issei has already been taken. But of course, it worked well. Gordo was right now terrified of his wife. Everyone's kind of terrified at the sight. And yeah, this is where, well, while that everything's happening, both of them kind of wakes up. Now, of course, Rias didn't, well, she still had her clothes on. Well, Issei also still had his clothes. This is where, well, Issei kind of just looks up and says, what is happening? This is where, well, Rias kind of yawns and says, why is everyone screaming this morning, this early in the morning? This is where, well, Issei looks at his alarm clock, wondering what kind of time it is, and if it's time for school or something. And it's not even time for school, it's like 7 in the morning. Issei says, oh my gosh, shut the fuck up, everyone. This is where Issei's quite annoyed. He was about to go back to sleep until mostly Irina says, Issei, are you two married? This is where she stutters out. This is where, well, Issei says, me? Marry who? Rias turns to see all the humans, or mostly the 2 human exorcists, and also, well, Issei's kind of parents, even though she doesn't know how they look like. Well, she knows Goro, but of course, never seen the female, and she looks very angelic and beautiful. But of course, well, she is terrified of the fact that she's laying on Issei's bed, and Issei's bed is kind of king size. So yeah, of course, well, Issei himself was terrified seeing Rias, and this worked well. They look away in an instant. This worked well. Issei says, "Marriage? No. I don't even know why she's here." This worked well. He tried to play it off, just trying his hardest. But of course, it worked well. Goro says, "Nonsense, my boy. You know what's going on. Please help me." This is where he tries to get help from, well, Issei. Issei says, "Fuck you. This is your fucking fault." This worked well. Goro looks back at his wife, and Mika looks, "I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to seriously murder you. I'm going to kill you and Azil." This is where, well, she had this murderous look in her eyes. Even though it was a friendly look, like she was smiling and other things, no, her eyes were showing murder. Like true fucking blood. She was out for blood. This is where, well, Goro says, "Why, you say, why you like this?" But yeah. This is where, well, Issei and, what's it called? Mostly, Issei and Rias are still in bed, and this is where, well, while what's it called? Gordo is actually being chased around the house because he's screaming from his wife, literally trying to stab him with light spears, or even something called unholy spears. But yeah, so holy and unholy because she is kind of a double mix. But yeah, but of course it worked well. Gordo's trying to dodge. He's like, wait, stop, honey, stop! No, please don't stab me, please don't hit me there. No, not there. The face. Wait, no, not the face. Wait, don't hit me there or not the face, please. This is where, well, mostly they hear this cackling and evilness. It sounds joyful and at the same time so evil. This is where all of the girls are just sweat dropping, even Issei. He's like, "Oh shit, Dad." This is where, well, what's it called? Issei then sees Irina kind of crying. This is where she says, "What about us?" This is where, well, Issei says, "Alright, wait, I can explain. It was all my father's fault. Fuck this shit." "Then why are you next to her?" This is where, well, she kind of says with a very angry tone. And this is where, well, Rias doesn't know what to do, but of course this is where she won't let Irina take him away because he's so kind and cuddly because, well, she kind of got really addicted with his wings kind of being around her, but yeah. This is where she kind of hugs Issei and says, "He's mine then. Go away." What's it called? Exorcist. And this is where Irina gets angry. Right now, well, unsheaths her sword and says, "You little devil bitch. I'm not letting you take him away from me." This is where, well, Issei says, "Okay, you two gotta stop." He grabs the Excalibur and then kind of pushes, well, not tries to push, what's it called, Rias away very harshly. But this is where he says, "Okay, you two really gotta stop. And the best way for you to kind of make up is by," he switches both places with Irina, "by you two literally staying next to each other." And does it work? Well, both Irina and, what's it called, Rias try to protest. While Issei still has the Excalibur in his hand, he's just walking away. Issei says, "Good luck, you two. Don't try to kill each other." This is where, well, they try to protest and tell Issei to come back. That's where Issei says, "My girls." This is where, well, they get angry and say, "Issei, come back." This is where Issei says, "I will only come back and make you two mine if you two make up." This is where, well, they both shut up and start blushing. This is where, well, Zenobia is actually deciding to, like, walk away, but yeah. This is where, well, this is not her place. She doesn't really care about the devil or what's it called. She does care about her best friend, but they seem not to really attack each other because, well, what's it called? Irina doesn't have her weapon, and of course the red magic circles around them kind of stopping them from using magic. So of course she's not really terrified. If they go into a fist fight, it's really no one's going to get hurt that much. So of course that's happening. This is where, well, Issei goes downstairs to get food. While, well, he does get food from his mother because his mother did cook. This is where, well, Issei says, "So where's Dad at?" This is where, well, he then hears his mother cackling with this joyful kind of cackle, but this evil cackle at the same time. She has like this split kind of personality, kind of being similar to Akano, but not really. This is where she's like, "Oh, your father? He's going to stay in the hospital for a couple of days. Don't worry about that, honey. You just have to get to school and do your best. And also, I wouldn't say don't go out with the devil, mostly the whole marriage thing, without me notifying and other stuff. But if Azel ever decides to bother you, or even the devil's kind of sister or brother or whatever, you tell me, and I go kill Azel and get what's it called, Lucifer's wife, or what's it called, her kind of like mother. Don't worry, I'll find a way in how to get a contact with them, and I will definitely murder Azel. This is where, well, she has this kind of evil, cackling look in her eye, and this is where, well, Issei switched off and says, yes, mother. This is where, well, Mika says, but still, I'm quite happy that you actually found kind of love, and it's quite cute for you two to actually be together, since you two have a type of shade of red. That's where, well, he says it, yeah. This is where, well, he goes, but this is where, well, Mika says, well, good luck with your whole, what's it called, relationship with them. Especially the three, mostly the two other exorcists. Issei blushes and says, I don't have a... Oh, come on, you do have a little crush on what's it called, Irina. I know about this. I'm your mother. I should know. This is where, well, Issei kind of nodded. He doesn't want to, like, get on the bad side of his mother, because he never seen his mother this pissed, and Goro is nowhere to be seen. Of course, there's like some, what's it called, black feathers kind of leading outside. Issei does not want to go outside. He doesn't want to go to the backyard. He's good. This is where, well, Mika says, but good luck, okay? This is where, well, Issei kind of goes back upstairs, and what he sees is both, what's it called, well, Rias and Irina kind of talking, and of course they're giggling and kind of chuckling at the same time. This is where they look at Issei, and this is where both of them are kind of having the smile on their face. This is where Issei switches up and says, this would probably be a bad idea. This is where, well, Drake says, and you're, well, the best thing that didn't you want them to stop fighting for each other? Well, each other? I think they're now having a plan, an evil, calculating plan for you. So this is a win, but also a loss for you. This is where Drake's in his head, and this is where she switched off. This is, oh, god damn it. This is where, well, Issei kind of goes up to them, just walking towards them, and this is where, well, the magic circle is dispelled, but this is where, well, Issei kind of says, are you two okay? This is where, well, they said, yes, of course. This is where, well, they kind of have this giggling and smiling at him, and this is where Issei said, well, we should be going, before they start leaving, both of them got to, well, one of the sides of Issei. Issei was confused until they grabbed his shoulder, and this is where they kind of lean in closer and kiss him in the cheek at the same time. This is where Issei's face becomes all red in an instant. This is where steam out of his ear actually appears awesome. This is where, well, Drake said, oh my god, this is some good action that I like to see. This is where, well, Issei blushes. They say, what are you two doing? This is where, well, they said, well, of course, kissing you. This is where, well, they licked their lips. This is where, well, Issei said, we should probably be going then. This is where, well, he's actually all red, and this is where, well, they kind of just giggle at this, like, redness. This is where, well, we go into Issei and the others kind of getting towards what's it called, the school. Of course, this is where Rainer and even what's it called, Junko appears next to them. Of course, this is where, well, the two fallen still don't like the devil or the exorcist. But of course, it's happening like this. Now, of course, this is where the two, mostly the exorcist and the devil still don't like the fallen angels. And this is where Issei is still kind of red and blushing, looking away. Of course, this is where, well, Junko managed to get, well, past what's called Rias' side. And of course, get towards Issei's side and kind of grabs his arm and says, hey, Issei, didn't you say you were going to take my V card? This is where, well, she said very seductively. This is where Issei's blushing and say, This is where, well, Reynard kind of says, no fair, sister, what about me? This is where, well, this is where both of them are kind of fighting. This is where Rias and, what's it called, Irina didn't really like them. So, of course, they start kind of fighting. This is where Issei says, oh, God, I could do the same plan as them, but I feel like they were actually kind of be bruised and hurt and killed, and I don't really want that to happen. Oh, my God, what is happening in my life? This is where, well, Drake says, I don't know, but this is the funniest fucking harem I ever heard of. So, this is actually a good show. You should just watch them, see what would happen. I don't want to. Okay, then let's go to school. That's what Issei said. Okay, let me just tell them. Okay, so I'm gonna go see you girls at school, so I'm gonna just do a magic circle. Bye. This is where all of them looked at him with wide eyes after seeing him teleport. But yeah, this is where they continue to argue, but then calm down after a while. And this is where they all have kind of evilish grins after hearing what Irina and what's it called, Ria's kind of plan. But yeah, this is where they kind of have evilish grins. But yeah, Issei gets to school, and of course, this is where he was walking past a closet. Mostly a closet, until he heard this weird noise like someone was making out in, what's it called, not the closet, mostly the closet of like the janitor and other stuff. And this is where he's like, what the fuck is that? This is where Issei kind of walks past it, then kind of goes backwards, and then he kind of like doesn't hear the sound until he walks past the closet again, and he keeps hearing makeout sessions, and someone kind of like little bit moans out a little bit after probably getting groped or something. And this is where he says, okay, this is a weird fucking noise. Either they're coming from the fucking lockers or the closet. God, I'm terrified to open the locker. Fuck, I'll do it. This is where Drake says, I wonder who's doing this shit. This is where he says, I don't want to know, but I guess curiosity is going to kill the cat. This is where, he walked through the closet. Well, mostly the door. He then sees that's kind of locked, but this is where he adds a little bit of his magic to just kind of burn whatever the hinges and other stuff. This is where it will kind of make them liquid. And this is where when he opens it wide, this is where what he sees kind of horrifies him and shocks him to his core. This is where, it's what's it called, Lelouch and Sona kind of literally making out. This is where, Sona has barely any clothes kind of attached to her body. Of course, this is where, of course showing her kind of panties and what's it called, like bra. And of course, this is where Lelouch kind of has his like shirt kind of lifted up. And this is where, mostly an unbuttoned a little bit, kind of lift it up a little bit. And this is where, they're literally kind of having their hands around them and kind of literally trying to just make out and kind of like take dominance. This is where, Issei said, oh, hell no. He slams the door and says, oh, hell no. This is where both of them wind their eyes after seeing Issei. Issei said, oh, hell no, I'm not dealing with this shit. This is where, they managed to get out after trying to change it really fast. And this is where they said, Issei, don't you dare tell anyone. This is where they kind of tried to get his like convenience in telling no one. Issei said, the fuck do I want to tell anyone? That was the most fucking torturous fucking method that I've ever seen. If you ever want information from me, please, for the love of God, don't show me that memory. That's literally PTSD right there. Hell no. Oh, hell no. This is where, Sona and Lelouch are blushing and looking away. This is where he says, I really thought that was literally Yang or was it Fugaku doing that shit. I never expected you, Lelouch, or even the fucking council president. Oh, hell no. This is where, mostly what's it called, Lelouch says, screw off, man. Besides, you, never mind. This is where, Issei says, let me just try to forget that shit. I'm gonna literally use a magic spell for me to forget that shit. Oh, hell no. This is where, Issei is literally walking away after just seeing this horrified sight, but yeah. This is where, Sona and Lelouch are just blushing. They say, we should probably do this somewhere else. This is where, Sona said, Lelouch says, agree. Because if we do that any further, we probably would have been caught. Yep. So, where? I would say your house. Yeah, that ain't happening. My brothers or my brothers and sister might probably annoy me and kind of go into my room. And I don't want them to kind of scar them with that. This is where, like a scar, you see. This is where someone says, I have a temporary house, but mostly my older sister might visit me. And I don't want my sister to accidentally kill you. Same. This is where, they then think about it and finding a like love hotel, but they don't want to go anywhere like plus 18 entirely or just making out, because they pretty much have like same what's it called mindset of like being genius in what's it called chess, and of course a lot of stuff. Of course, Sona has lost to Lily so many times, so of course this is where she does need to tell him about the whole marriage thing that she kind of had with the chess, but of course making out with him a little bit and kind of having fun with him would probably be a bonus. This is where she's just blushing in the fact that they literally got caught. This is where, Sona can't really erase Issei's memories. Issei gotta erase that memory from his fucking head because he literally got scarred from life. This is where, they said, so we should probably get to class. This is where Sona says, I agree. This is where they kind of go off, still being right next to each other, but yeah. This is where, we go into Issei. Issei said, oh, hell no, that was the worst fucking sight. I don't know. This is where he's walking towards his class until he sees two people kind of making out. Literally in freaking public. Like, they don't care that much. They really don't care. This is where, well, he says, oh, hell no. What the fuck? First Lelouch and Sona, now it's fucking Yang and Fugaku. For fuck's sakes. This is where Issei kind of grabs like this towel that he managed to grab out of nowhere. And this is where he just throws them upon what's called Yang and what's called Fugaku and says, get a room, you two. Fuck off. This is where, well, both of them kind of were winding their eyes after kind of getting out of the, what's it called? Well, mostly the club. And say, Issei? This is where they kind of stutter out. This is where, well, Fugaku kind of blushes a little bit, and this is where Yang also looks away, but yeah. This is where Issei says, God, first Lelouch, and then you two. Oh, hell no, this is, oh, no, fuck that shit. This is where, well, they say, I thought school didn't start yet. Issei says, well, school is starting for me. I'm trying to get to the fucking classroom and go to sleep. What the fuck are you two? Ah, God, this is so annoying. This is where, well, they kind of blush and look away, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, God damn it. What is there a whole chain of event that might happen later? Fuck this whole thing. He hasn't seen Dobby with anyone, so he's just thinking that Dobby's single and thinking that he won't be scarred by his like 6th in command being what's called the flames of darkness. So he probably won't be scarred. This is where, well, he's hoping for the love of God not to be scarred by Dobby's fucking make out or whatever. Lucky they were only making out and not going anywhere up the basis. But yeah, that's where, well, you see sweat dropping, but yeah, he gets to his class and just like sit down and literally just like starts falling asleep. But yeah, this is where, well, Drake is saying this shit is scarring me also. Holy fuck. This is where, well, Drake says, we gotta delete that memory out of your mind. And he says, you think? Fucking delete it. Fuck this place. No, I am not trying to remember any of that. And this is where, well, Drake says, then let's do that. But for right now, I'm going to leave it off here for, well, part 4 of this what if, or part 3, part 4? Wait, what is it? So yeah, part 4 of this what if. Part 5 will be whenever, but for right now, bye.